Hi everybody, this is Grim with M2 Mods and over at Ram Forum. I just figured I'd talk about this Sentry CT cover that I've got for my Rebel Rambox truck here that, I don't know, I've got some mixed feelings on this. I've got the cover installed well where this works pretty good with the Rambox. I like the fact over the back rolling lock, whatever it was, the back revolver X2 or X4 now, that this has the Velcro down the sides to help seal it. Although when I did adjust the mount rails inside the cab to get this lower down to the box to minimize that profile, I did end up with a much thicker seal that they gave me that's pushing this up at the back, and I'll probably end up replace that at some point to get that down where I think it should be, or maybe I'll just trim the foam at the end. I'm not sure yet, but I like the way this looks over the Sentry CT because it is vinyl instead of that woven cloth fabric. I'm not sure how either one's going to hold up over time. It does hold pretty well here at the back. One of my complaints is this rubber seal at the back edge that lays up on the tailgate. You have to kind of close the tailgate first and then close this to get a seal, whereas, and I'll show you here, on the Revolver X2 there was a big gasket that went all the way across this, and an overhang on the cover when I had it on the last two trucks, and it would seal up hard against the back of the tailgate. It would press it up and seal that edge, which I wish they had this overhanging flap too sometimes, but they don't. But this does roll up, locks down. It mounts up to the rails pretty good. Underneath, you can see the rails here and how these clips go on. They slide into the rail, top of the rail seat, and they've got spacers to get the height right. Biggest problem I had was when I put this together, the edge of this ended up sitting up way higher than the Rambox, and I just didn't like the way that looked. And I never saw anybody mention this on other videos I've seen, but these utility rails that come with the Rambox, you know, they've got the bolts to mount them to the box. If you loosen these up, they are slotted, and that's what I did to lower these whole rails down enough to get this Sentry CT to sit flush or nearly flush like that. It's really a lot better than it was. That said, another thing I like on the CT is it comes with these big foam tapered gaskets. I don't know, this is about 1.5 inches thick, because on the Rambox, when this closes up, there's this big gap between the Rambox and the tailgate. And the other thing they had here was this, they had a little foam gasket right here that I didn't care for. It wasn't deep enough or thick enough. And I took that off and just got some of this stuff at, I think I got this at Advanced Auto Parts or Riley's or one of those, and just cut that to fit, and it stuck it on with the adhesive to help seal that portion again. Feel like Truxedo could get a bigger portion of this, especially to wrap through the gap on the side here when the tailgate's up, and maybe be a continuous piece across the back here. That would be great if it was just offset enough to be one continuous piece over there. But they definitely did good getting this curvature in here to match the tailgate when it's closed, which I do like. Anything else I can think of here? If you've got the Rambox and you've got a 5th gen, Dealership won't include these with your purchase, but you can get them from a 4th gen truck with a Rambox. This, I guess, dowel and this locking pin, it's spring loaded. You can pull it out, but you can take your bed divider, flip it around and extend it out, lock it in there and use it like a bed extender. Why they decided not to promote that feature, I don't know. So let's see here. Show you this in action. You got to close your bed, unroll this back, and you can see the little slam latch here at the end for it, and that locks it down. At the back, and this is my big complaint with this, unlike the back revolver X4 or whatever it's called now, but the revolvers lock all the way down the whole side of the bed cover once it's rolled out. If you peel this up, I can lift this up on the side, and I'm going to see it. You can get this up in there quite a bit. You could actually peel this up because it's only latched at the end, once in the middle, and at the very front of the bed. So I've got gaps here that you can lift up and access the bed cover. I don't care for. So what can I do about that? Well, my thought process is I'm going to try to put some more slam latches in and covers here that I ordered from Truxedo, and see if I can take the bed cover off and work that into the slats, because they look modular. Biggest problem I'm going to have is these slide into the channels here, and it looks like what they did was they took a punch and they punched the rails that they slide into down into this to lock these into place. And then this Z cable goes into the latch, comes through one of these retainer guides that sits behind it, angles over, goes up a few spots, and then goes through the other retainer. And unfortunately in the parts list they don't give you a lot of part numbers, but I'll hold here for a minute. Kudos to boy, what was that lady's name? Jamie Perzal over at Truxedo. Their customer service was fantastic, and she really worked with me to find these part numbers for the slam latch, the cable Z, the guide, and the end covers for the latches. You can see here you need one slam latch, one cover, 2 guides, and the Z pull for every latch you add. I'm not sure if I can add 2 more latches on each side or just 1. We're going to find out, and I'll probably report back once that's up and running. But I'll show you how that's supposed to work over here in the truck. So as you're rolling this back, we're almost to the middle here. All right. So here's the one pull with the Z cable with the ball end. It's anchored in there, and so it's all loose when it's up underneath, and then as you roll it back, it starts putting tension on it. It goes through this guide, turns, and goes over into the latch and pulls the latch open as you roll it. So that's how that works. The only problem is they just need more latches in this to make it secure. So we'll go from there, and I'm going to take this cover off and see if I can do anything about that, and we'll go from there. All right, wish me luck.